not far from here, is Chirghat. We were speaking about Lakshmi Devi, how she was aspiring to follow in the footsteps of the Gopis. Srila Prabhupada explains the nature of the Gopis' love. He especially quotes from Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Everything, their mind, their body, their words, was for Krishna's pleasure. And the Gopis, understanding Krishna's inner desires, was reciprocating accordingly. Shukadeva Goswami, what was the exalted nature of his renunciation? We read how he remained within the womb of his mother for 12 years because he had no desire to come out into the world, because he had nothing to enjoy. The only reason anyone's born in this world is because we have a desire to enjoy material gratification. He was Brahman realized. He was so thoroughly self-satisfied, he didn't have to go anywhere. So he just stayed in the womb of his mother. Vyasadeva was chanting the glories of Krishna, and Krishna himself had to come to convince Sukadeva to come out. And we know the story when he was going from his home and Vyasadeva was following him. There were some ladies bathing without clothes in a lake. And when they saw Sukadeva Goswami, they just went on bathing. And when they saw Vyasadeva, they immediately got out and started covering themselves and were very much ashamed. And Vyasadeva said, "Why are you ashamed of me? I'm old enough to be your grandfather. Shukadeva is young, he's only 12 years old. Why aren't you ashamed when he's there?" They said, "Because he's Brahman realized. He makes no distinction between male and female. He doesn't see any of the dualities of the world. He's liberated. You are also, but because you're a grihasta, you have to make distinction." That was Sukadeva's. And Shukadeva Goswami, he praised, he exalted the Gopis as the most highly pure, liberated of all souls. When Shukadeva Goswami was 16 years old, he came into that great assembly where the greatest rishis, yogis, sages, gurus were together to be with Parikshit Maharaj, the emperor, for his last 7 days. Vishwamitra Muni, Vashishta Muni, Bhardraj Muni, Narada Muni, Vedavyas, Parasara Muni, they were all there. There were thousands of them. Every single liberated great soul in the universe was there at that time. Some of them were ageless. We read about them from other yugas, how they were great gurus. Vishwamitra was Ramchandra's guru. Vyasadeva is Vishnu himself. Narada Muni, the son of Brahma, is almost everybody's guru. But they all unanimously agreed that Shukadeva Goswami is the most qualified to speak. And when Shukadeva Goswami spoke the Srimad Bhagavatam, 7 days, nobody left. All these great munis and rishis, they all sat in rapt attention, hearing the nectar of Sukadeva Goswami's realizations. And he is glorifying the pure, spotless love of the Gopis. The Gopis wanted to exclusively dedicate their body, mind, words, and lives to Krishna. They wanted to love him and serve him as their husband. Brinda Devi, she told them that you should worship the goddess Katyayani. During the winter month, from November, December. And she told them how to do it. They were to fast and eat only once a day rice cooked with mung dal, with no spice, no salt, no turmeric. And early in the morning, just before sunrise, they should rise and go together to the Yamuna and take their bath. Then they should make a murti out of the sand and the clay of Katyayani and worship her and pray to her to get Krishna as their husband. There's one energy of Krishna, but that one energy can manifest as Yogamaya or Mahamaya. Yogamaya is the spiritual energy that facilitates pastimes of love with Krishna. And Mahamaya is the material energy that covers our awareness of our own eternal soul and our relationship with Krishna. Mahamaya keeps us under the egoistic conception of I and mine. I am this body, and whatever is in relation to the body is mine. And our acharyas explain how Durga, or Katyayani, is the name of both the material energy when it's applied in that context, but also they are the names of Yogamaya. So it's not that the gopis were worshipping a demigoddess. They were worshipping Yogamaya, Krishna's eternal spiritual energy, because they were approaching her for pure unalloyed devotional service. Srila Prabhupada explains that even if a person worships a demigod, Prabhupada says, Narottam Das Thakur and others say there's no need. But if we worship a demigod for loving devotional service to Krishna, then that's perfect too. What Krishna discourages in the Bhagavad Gita is worshipping demigods for material, selfish purposes that keep us bound within the cycle of birth and death. But the gopis, because their intention was pure, their worship was perfect. They would hold hands together in the dark just before the sunrise. And they would be singing beautiful songs about Krishna. They were totally absorbed in Krishna 24 hours a day. And when they were together, it was the most beautiful experience for them because they could openly share their love for Krishna. Otherwise, at their homes, they had to kind of keep it to themselves. On our own little level, we should be like that too. That's the joy of being with devotees. Sometimes our congregation, you have to do work, you have to mix with so many social situations, and you have to kind of keep your enthusiasm for Krishna to yourself. But when we're with devotees, we could just freely talk about Krishna, sing about Krishna, encourage each other with Krishna. There's no great much chitamat gata parana, bodhyanta paramparas. Krishna tells in Gita, Tesha nitya vayuktanam yogakshemam mahamyaham. Krishna carries what we lack, preserves what we have, but he tells that the devotees, their greatest joy is to be together, to glorify him and converse about him. One of the greatest tragedies is when we come to the association of devotees. It's probably taken us millions of births to have the association of devotees. And when we waste our time gossiping, talking about the faults of others, talking mundane prajalpa, we could do that anywhere. The beauty and the glory of satsang, the association of devotees, is we could freely discuss Krishna. And we should really try to do that. We read Srila Prabhupada's books, we go to classes, discuss it with each other, enlighten each other, enliven each other. The greatest service we could do for each other is bring each other closer to Krishna. And that was the Gopis. They would hold their hands, they would be dancing to the Yamuna, singing the glories of Krishna together, and each one was enthusing the others to sing with more and more love about Krishna. And when it came to the Yamuna, some of them would play venas, they would have kirtan, chanting Krishna's names and glories together.
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on devotionalnectar.com.